Hello everyone and welcome back to EDCNC. My name is Samuel and I have said more than once on this channel that the Vosteed Mini Nightshade is a mini bug out killer. So I have one here and I put them head to head. Let's see which one comes out on top. The first two we'll do is probably the most important when it comes to small knives, and that is weight and blade length. The first things first, coming in with the weights. The Vosteed Mini Nightshade comes in at 1.79 ounces, and the Benchmade Mini Bugout comes in at 1.5 ounces. Will 0.29 of an ounce be conceivable when you're actually carrying this in your pocket? No, probably not, but this is a very tight race, so we've got to keep all those little things consistent. Now, when we're talking small carry knives, I believe that the less weight, the better. So, point number one goes to the Benchmade Mini Bugout. Now, when it comes to blade length, I'm going to have to give this one to the Mini Nightshade. It comes in at 2.6 inches, where the Mini Bugout comes in at 2.875 inches. So, the further you are from that 3-inch, the better, because some states have a 3-inch blade law. Now, if you're just looking for a great small knife and are not worried about the laws, the Benchmade Bugout is better because it packs more blade into a very similar size. But for this specific one, I'm going to give it to the Mini Nightshade. So, carryability. It is so close, it's not even funny, but I have to say, I think that the Mini Nightshade does take up just a little bit more of a footprint. Is it enough to matter? Not really. But to be completely honest, I have to give it to the Benchmade Bugout for carryability. So are you keeping score? If not, it's okay. I have something right here to tell you which one's ahead and which one has a little bit of catching up to do. Up next, action. Which one of them has the better action? Here's the Mini Nightshade. Here's the Mini Bugout. Now that didn't do a thing for you, but it does tell me that the Benchmade Mini Bugout comes out on top for action. It does have just a nicer actuation and a better detent for on the way out, and it's just so smooth on the way in. Benchmade does do a good job with their crossbar locks on the Mini Bugouts, but that's not to say that Mini Nightshade doesn't have a good action. Very good, makes a fun little ting on the way out, but it is more prone to fly out without having to disengage the lock or press on the thumb studs. So action has to go to the Mini Bugout. Now, a really important part is blade steel. Which one has the better blade steel? Well, I'm going to have to give that to the Mini Nightshade. S35VN instead of S30V. Now, some people in the comments might say S30V is just as good, if not better than S35VN, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's pretty well accepted that S35VN is a better blade steel all around than S30V. So, the Mini Nightshade gets the steel point. Let's start with cutting performance. I tore these things through a pretty heavy-duty box that this toolbox came in behind me, and I have to say, kind of surprised me, but the winner is the Mini Bugout. Now, is it just leaps and bounds better? Actually, it did a good bit better. Whether it be the difference in grind, whether I didn't have a very sharp edge on this one, or the factory edge wasn't very sharp on this one, whatever happened, the Benchmade Bugout did perform better. And I cut quite a few boxes with this thing, but it performed better. It just seemed to not get caught up as much. There was less resistance, and I guess it's because of the way this one is ground, but the cardboard just didn't seem to get caught up that much. So, the Mini Bugout did do better on the cutting tasks. Now, in small cutting tasks where you're not tearing down boxes and stuff like that, you're not going to notice a difference. But if you're one that likes to tear down big boxes with your knives and stuff, the Mini Bugout is going to come out on top for that. Now, how was the ergonomics while I was tearing these boxes down? Well, even though I had to exude more force with the Mini Nightshade, it had the better ergonomics. Now, both of them were great in hand, but where that problem came up was the pocket clip. Now, I still did have some hot spots out of the Mini Nightshade, but far less than I did with the Mini Bugout. And I think the reason the Mini Bugout has such a hot spot is the way this clip is made. My hand just so happened to dig into this little spot right here. I'll show you on B-roll. It dug in right there while I was pressing through, and even though this one went through the boxes easier, this one was still better over a long duration of time. So I'm gonna have to give ergonomics to the Mini Nightshade. our final point is pricing. We'll get started with the Mini Bugout. Many of you are probably familiar with it. It's been around a long time. The pricing for this thing has gone so high. It is now $153. Now, this does have, it's GFN handles, which is not as nice as the carbon fiber, but still a very strong handle material. I had no problems with it doing my cutting. But for $153 for S30V and this handle material, it just seems a little much. I know it's USA made, whatever you want to throw out there, but I think we can all agree that Benchmade is kind of just getting along on their name right now, and they're not really innovating their older models. They're not upgrading them. Maybe that'll come soon. Maybe I'll be eating my words by the time this video comes out. They'll announce that they're upgrading to S35 or S45 or even Shcallicutt. Who knows? But as of right now, it just feels a little outdated. So $153, while this is a great knife, is steep, but the Mini Nightshade is coming in at 99 bucks. So I think, obviously, if you just want to look at it from blade steel's better, the handle materials are better, and the ergonomics are better, I think the Mini Nightshade has to get the win for pricing here. So where does that leave us? Looks like with a tie. Is that how you guys thought it would turn out? I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I thought the Mini Nightshade would take this and run with it. I thought it would perform better on cutting. I thought it would just take it and run with it. But Benchmade knows what they're doing. They've been doing this for a long time, and obviously it's been working because, well, they're still doing it. So, let me know what you guys think. I will say, this was totally subjective. Hey, some of you might rather have a blade that was closer to 3 inches rather than further away from it, because you don't have to worry about that knife flaw. There's all kinds of different things that you could swap in and out to say one's better than the other. But in the way that I've tested it, the way I look at it, they're pretty much the same. Of course, I'm going to have my preferences. Of course, I'm going to like one for the way it looks or the way it feels or the way it does this or the way it does that. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, all those wonderful things. Have a great day. Thank you for 2,000 subscribers, and God bless.